Okay, guys, I want to welcome you back to week 37 of this epic weight loss adventure, and this has been quite the journey so far. If you guys have been following along since last week, you found out that I figured out how to quit smoking by using basic weight loss principles. And so far, that's been going extremely well. That's been going a lot better than I even imagined. So, and this was something I was just experimenting with because I tried quitting smoking at one point early on in this weight loss journey, and it was an epic failure. I went right back to vaping. I went right back to using like tobacco style pouches, and I also started smoking cigarettes over a period of time, and it's just one of those things that just kept coming and going. But this time I've been able to get completely off of cigarettes, vaping, nicotine pouches, any type of nicotine cessation aids up to this point, and I have gone, over 5 to 6 days without nicotine right now. And there was a period of time where I did the first 72 hours with no nicotine, but I did need a little bit of help there, so I did have a nicotine pouch after the third day. But yeah, it was quite incredible what happened during that first 72 hours of quitting smoking and actually quitting nicotine, 100% quitting nicotine. It's hard to just say that because normally we used to just say, we're quitting smoking, or we're quitting chewing tobacco, but now it's literally, we need to say it's quitting nicotine because there's so many nicotine alternatives out there that we can choose from. And it's just, doesn't matter which one you choose. As long as you keep putting nicotine in your body, you're just continuing the addiction no matter what it is. You might not be smoking, but you might be, maybe chewing tobacco, or you might be just, using like nicotine gum. You're still using nicotine, and it's still something that we got to get away from, and it takes a lot of time. And let's see, it's been about 2 to 3 weeks now that I've been working on this, and so far every week has been a major improvement. Every day has been an improvement. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to believe in the process and try to make it work the best for you. Hey, you guys ready to go? Let's go. Hey, come on there, bouncer. Let's go take off, see how much Daddy weighs. I don't think there's any saving this week. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go out here. Let's see what the scale says. Alright, well, Gray Bear wants to participate this morning. Doesn't look like Baby Bear wants to. And lately, Gray Bear's just been stalling right there at that part of the hallway. That's okay. So we got our scale all set up. Cat's already on its way. Uh-oh. I thought my cat was going to get on there. I was going to get to see how much my cat weighed for a second. But alright, let's just hop on here and see what's going on. Okay. Now I am pretty well dressed this morning. I have a shirt on and I actually have shoes. So that's going to be a couple pounds, not a big deal. But anyways, I'm at 327. Alright, hold on. 327. 328. Alright, 328.1 pounds. We're going to call it that. And get on with the video here. Well, that is actually almost a crazy amount of weight gain there. It says, yeah, so we had around 328 pounds for this week's weigh-in, a little bit over, pointing this or that or the other. And then, yeah, last week's weigh-in was 301.2. Let's see, that comes out to almost 26.8 pounds of weight gain. That's amazing. That's a pretty epic weight gain. So let's see. I wonder why that happened. But yes, like I mentioned, I have been using basic weight loss principles just for this quitting smoking portion here. And I knew for a fact that as soon as I decided to start exercising, and also when I decided to quit smoking at any given point in this weight loss journey, that I was going to wind up gaining some weight. Now, the rumor's always been 10 to 20 pounds of weight gain for almost everybody that's ever tried to quit smoking. Now, every time I've tried to quit smoking in the past and actually gave it a really good hard push to, try to actually quit smoking, it was at least 10 pounds. I was always gaining at least 10 pounds. Sometimes it was around 30 pounds, and it was almost like it was instantaneous within the first week or two of actually trying to quit smoking. And sometimes it would be a 20 to 30 pound weight gain, even without being super strict about it. Like I would actually fall off the wagon and wind up still smoking, and then it was really counterproductive at that time because I'd wind up not quitting smoking and then still gaining 10 to 20 pounds. So I believe that's what's going on here. Now, for this next week, we're going to buckle down considerably hard because my diet has been literally all over the place, because the only thing I've been concerned about right up to this point is just getting the cigarettes, getting the nicotine, getting all of the previous addiction type habits completely out of my system. Now, the one thing I haven't been able to figure out yet is how to quit smoking and lose weight at the same time. That is a total different plane. I don't even know if it's 100% possible, because with the amount of stress you put your body under and the amount of healing it takes when you start to quit nicotine altogether, the two kind of clash together. So weight loss is going to be stopped. Similar to just trying to drop the weight and also adding in exercise, and that was a new one to me that I wasn't really expecting. When I did add in exercise, it wasn't something that was one of those things that I was planning on. It was like, wow, I gained weight just because I started exercising. So that was a big one too. So one of the first steps to quitting smoking is that I had to identify, exactly what I wanted to accomplish by quitting smoking. Did I want to become, healthier? Did I want to breathe healthier? Did I want to avoid cancers? And the same thing went for my weight loss. The same exact principle applies to weight loss as it does to quitting any type of addiction, for that matter. It could be any type of addiction. It could be quitting heroin or quitting whatever's going around out there, crystal meth, or I don't even know the lingo for all these different types of drugs that are out there, like right now, but even marijuana. But sugar addiction, those types of cravings, you need to figure out what the benefits are that you're trying to avoid, and that way you can work step by step to get to that next level of trying to recognize what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish for an end goal. So now step number 2 is just trying to figure out how to get the nicotine out of your body as quick as possible. And the first 72 hours is literally what most people talk about. It's the most important 72 hours of the actual quitting process, in my opinion. And the same thing goes for weight loss. And this is how everything is all going to compile into one another. So when I started my weight loss journey, I was 435 pounds. I wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to get it started quickly. The same thing with quitting smoking or quitting nicotine altogether, is I wanted to get the process rolling as quickly as possible. So what I did for weight loss is I did a 5-day water fast. All right. Now, how that applies to smoking and nicotine is I did the first 72 hours without nicotine. When I finally buckled down and I said, all right, we're gonna do this right now. So that's basically the same thing as doing like a 5-day water fast. Is you're doing a 3-day fast of the nicotine. You're just taking it all completely out, and you're getting your body set up for the additional process that's hopefully to come, which is either going to be weight loss or the elimination of nicotine altogether in your entire system. Now, step number 3 is just as important either way you look at it, with weight loss or with nicotine or anything addictive, is you have to commit to quit. You have to actually say to yourself, look yourself in the mirror, I'm quitting. I'm done with this. And that's pretty much how I got my weight loss started, is I just got to a point where I was just fed up. And the same thing with this process of trying to quit nicotine altogether. I just had to get to a point where I was fed up. I had to be able to look myself in the eye, in the mirror, and say, you sir, you're done. You need to quit this. You've had enough. You've been doing this too long. And the same thing happened when I was, incredibly morbidly obese. I was almost stuck in bed. I had to figure out, okay, is this time? Am I done now? Am I going to continue this nonsense? I said I might have some weight loss, I might have some weight gain, but are we done with just continuously making myself morbidly obese? And the same thing goes for smoking cigarettes. Am I just going to continue to smoke cigarettes and just pretend like nothing bad's going to happen, because over time, and it's a slow killer, and these things will kill you over time. It just takes a little bit of time, and it's a slow, painful death. So weight loss and nicotine, yeah, man, they are so similar in ways that they, you know, benefit the body in trying to get over any addiction, like I say. But you want to celebrate every single one of those cravings you have, because every time that you can accomplish getting over a craving, that's just one step closer to just accomplishing your end goal, which is either, you know, quitting carbs or sugar, or quitting nicotine altogether. Because when you quit nicotine, you're breaking down the whole process inside the brain that of the nicotine receptors. And I'm not super into the science on it all, but I do have a basic understanding of kind of how it works. And the same thing works with what is it, THC for marijuana, the sugar addiction and stuff like that. So when you're just ignoring the sugar cravings and you're just getting past that with other alternatives, you know, say like you're drinking water, for instance, or you're going for a walk or doing some exercise, you're changing up the actual dopamine process, and you're getting dopamine from a different place, you know, besides sugar or carbs or nicotine for that matter. And that this is kind of how the whole process works, and you eventually start to get over this stuff. Okay, now step 4, you need to identify your goals. So if it's weight loss, do you have a goal weight in mind, for instance? Is it's, you know, like for me, my original end goal weight was about 235. Now my goal for quitting cigarettes is, of course, it's going to be better health, but it's also going to be, I don't want to smell like smoke. I don't want my cars to smell like smoke anymore. I'm tired of the cigarette burns. I'm tired of having to carry around a lighter. I'm also tired of, you know, having that ball and chain on my ankle all the time, to where I feel like I can't function correctly if I don't have a pack of cigarettes, or if I forgot my vape at home, or if I didn't charge my batteries, or if I ran out of vape juice, or my, you know, tobacco tin or whatever. I ran out, you know, those little Zen pouches. Those things are just as addictive as everything else. And it's just like, you know, we might not be smoking and we're using a different product, but we're not solving the problem. If anything, we're prolonging the problem. And that's a lot of the problem I have with vaping products, is that, yeah, vapes were great. They didn't stink up the house. And it just gave me a reason to take more nicotine at times where I normally wouldn't. So instead of going outside to smoke a cigarette, I would actually be able to vape inside the house. And then we tend to start to vape around the children and around other family members and act like nothing's any different, when, you know, it's something we should probably not do overall. So step 5, you're looking at your investments. You know, basically, all right, what am I trying to accomplish by, you know, changing up my habits or routine? Now, when I was losing weight, I was focused on my investments as well there. I was also focused on the amount of money that I used to spend on absolute nonsense, absolute garbage food, going out to eat, the type of dessert foods that we would constantly have here in our pantry, the candies, for instance, the sugary drinks, stuff like that. So once I started cutting all the carbs and the sugars out, I actually started saving a lot of money. Not only that, I was fasting. That's already saving hundreds of dollars every week, because you're just not eating like you normally would. So that just spreads the money out. And the same thing goes for smoking cigarettes. You know, the long term health benefits, the long term financial benefits of quitting smoking, and also just getting healthier in the long term, are just going to save you a ton of money overall. The smaller the clothes, the cheaper the clothes. That's another thing. 3X shirts cost a lot more money. And then if you're getting into the 5X shirts, that's like buying an entire blanket to put over your body right here. Those things are heavy. And I got tired of wearing the heavy shirts after a period of time, because it is a lot of material. And you're talking anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds just in cotton. Sometimes when you're just putting on some of these, you know, heavier t-shirts to fit, you know, bigger men. And same thing goes with the pants. Everything is just heavier. You're already heavy, and you're just making yourself heavier. But yeah, so when you get rid of the nicotine and all the processes there, and you're getting rid of the chew spit can that you might tip over or something like that, or the vape products that might leak in your pocket and damage your clothing or something like that. It's just, there's a lot of things that we need to consider, and once we start identifying these things, it just makes everything a whole lot easier to finally get to where I'm at right now, which is I'm really confident that this is just it. I'm just fed up with smoking. I'm fed up with the weight gain. So we're going to have to get this week figured out here as far as the weight goes. So I might have to implement another fast to get my weight loss started again, which isn't too hard. I got plenty of experience there, so I'm hoping for that. So another thing that we need to try to do is, there's always this little monkey sitting on your shoulder right about here, the one that's telling you to, it's okay to eat that, or it's okay to smoke that cigarette. Don't worry about it. You can quit tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes. We know that. We've done this for how many years now? A lot of us are in our 50s or in our 60s, and we have been unable to either quit smoking or quit just eating the wrong types of foods. But this little guy up here is just constantly shouting in my ear, even now, saying stuff like, "Hey, it's okay. You can smoke one cigarette. You just, it'll be all right." You got to ignore that little dude. And the same thing goes for when it comes to eating. Just ignore that little dude. Stay well away from that guy and put him in his corner, because that's not the one you want to listen to. The one you want to listen to is the one that's yourself, and the one that's actually getting you, some improvement in life, because these things add up really fast when you just start figuring out every single bit of the steps to actually make all of this stuff work. So, all right, enough of that. Let's see, what did I have to eat this week? This week has been a horrible week for me. I have been out to eat at least once or twice this week. I went out to eat with the wife and the family once at Mongolian Dragon Barbecue, and it was the same place that we went to in that one video before, where I was pretty much focused on getting these Mongolian type protein type bowls with some cabbage and some sprouts, and overall that wasn't too bad. But this time I added in some extra this or that's, which added some extra calories, which didn't help any portion of what's going on right here. And actually, I'm sure that helped with some of the weight gain, the inflammation and stuff like that going on. So that wasn't very helpful. I've also been getting into some like snack type crackers at times, some Cheez-Its, some type of Ritz crackers. I did make a chili that had 3 different types of chili beans, but I did make it pretty meat heavy. So it had hot dogs, hamburgers, and I did put a pound of grass-fed beef in there, and I'll mix that all up in a crock pot, and that lasted for several days. So that's been my main meal for the majority of the week. And we did run out of eggs, and we haven't replaced the eggs yet. So I've been pretty short on the eggs. So I think after this video and tomorrow morning when I get up, I'm probably going to head to the store, grab a big 60-pack of eggs and start working on those for the week. And most likely I'm going to be doing eggs and sardines for next week and just see how that works out, because I really need to get this this extra weight that I just put on and get down below 300 pounds for a third time in this weight loss journey, and hopefully stay there, because that's my end goal, is to get down below 300 pounds and stay there. And I'm not even going to be fussy, as far as, how fast I get down below any other numbers after I get under 300 pounds. I'm just going to focus on that number right there and just try to stay there for as long as possible. Because right now where I'm at, 320 some pounds to 330 pounds, has been a weight that I was so comfortable at for several years. And I was also very physically active. I was the guy that was down in the hole shoveling, using pry bars and stuff to move these big concrete pipes, lifting blocks. And I was always around 300 and something pounds. And the weight didn't really start to become a problem until I got up over 370, 380 and stuff like that. And then it really started slowing me down. I became a lot slower. I wasn't moving around as much. I was definitely a lot lazier and sloth-like. But yeah, but that was also around the time, the pandemic kicked off and we were all stuck at home, horribly depressed about just being stuck at home and not knowing about what's going on in the world. So yeah, overall the food that I ate this week, that wasn't the greatest. I wasn't doing so hot there. And my cat's chewing on the camera. Don't chew on the camera, little guy. Hey, you're in the light. Come. Come over here. People want to see you. All right. Ah. There we go. Okay. So this is my little buddy. This is Dusty Bear, and I put a bunch of stuff in Dusty's ears because it did look like he might have had some ear mites going on there from the last video because he was acting all weird on camera and asking for help. So I got some Q-tips out. We cleaned out his ears today, and he wound up clawing me pretty good here on my thumb. He wound up tearing that up. That really hurt. Well, that's all part of trying to take care of your cats. Is once in a while they get a little wily and get a claw in you and wind up tearing you up. Now I did notice my cat Molly here. Now I got a tattoo right here, but she got me so good one time that she actually took the ink out of my tattoo. That's kind of weird. So that looks a little weird. I didn't even think that was possible. My cat took the ink out of my tattoo on my wrist. That tattoo's been there since I was about 16 years old. But yeah, crazy. All right. That's funny. There's a step that I almost forgot in there. One of the biggest steps that I had to consider when losing weight and also quitting smoking is you have to have realistic expectations of yourself. You have to have realistic expectations of your weight loss, because sometimes you're just not going to lose the weight you think you're going to lose. And also, if you're going to add in things like quitting smoking to a weight loss journey, chances are you're going to gain some weight. I've proven that. And I just haven't figured out how to quit smoking and lose weight at the same time. I would imagine if you could do both of them at the same time, it would be horribly miserable. And it would be a lot more extra stress on the body. So I'm not sure if that's something I'd even want to try to attempt. But sometimes people have lost weight, but quite often I haven't figured it out. There's a lot of other people that warn me, hey man, you quit smoking, you're going to wind up gaining some weight. So just deal with the weight gain. You're getting good at losing weight. And it's kind of becoming a hobby now. And this is why I like sharing this stuff, is because I've been doing this for 37 weeks now. I've been losing weight, gaining some weight here and there, but for the most part, I've been losing weight and I've been, keeping a lot of it off. So getting the first 100 pounds off, that was probably the most important 100 pounds of my life, because that's a lot of weight, when you just get rid of 100 pounds. And it changes everything. It opens a lot of doors, and hopefully it'll continue to keep opening doors, because I just need to just keep going and just keep being a healthier version of, who I am, and hopefully, actually getting somewhere in life, because I've been struggling for many years, just trying to get ahead and get to a point where, I might even be able to build up a retirement or something like that. And that's crazy. I haven't ever even thought of really much about a retirement plan. And so I need to start getting the ball rolling. I need to start getting some future investments put together for my children and stuff like that, because I got a lot of children to consider. So I need to start getting something, in place for all of them, because I'm only going to be around for another 20, 30 years, maybe 40 years if I'm lucky. So yeah, I got about another lifetime to live, and hopefully get this all figured out for the benefit of everybody in the family. But anyhow, guys, I hope to see you all in the next one.